Oh, back from our unintended hiatus.
Yeah, I didn't even start recording it. There you go. Now we're recording. Perfect.
Welcome back, everybody. Glad to have you back. All you slackers took a couple weeks off and missed our show. Too bad. You didn't hear it once. The first time it's gone. So welcome back. What's up, Tom?
What's up? What's up? It's good to have you back. Glad you could carve out some time in your busy
Yeah, man.
schedule for this.
We maybe next year we'll plan it a little better and have this run right into the start of the season instead of I think I just got too excited because training camp opened and I'm like, let's start the show now. And then 4 weeks show is 8 weeks before the season starts. The math doesn't really add up.
Yeah, I think you definitely pulled the trigger early there. Story of your life, huh? Always,
Yeah, a little bit. That's oh,
always
man,
coming
come
early.
on. I was gonna go there. I was gonna go there, and you went there anyways. But thanks. It was gonna be funny if I said a little self-deprecating humor, but you said it now. It's just sad. Kind
So,
of like Twiz calling me fat for no reason, out of nowhere on stag.
it definitely was for no
So
reason.
butthurt about that.
It definitely wasn't for no reason. You were talking hella shit to him, and when he gave it
Yeah.
a little
See,
bit back to you, you got super upset.
here's what I don't. Here's what I don't like. I was giving it. I was. You're right. Still am a little bit. I was giving him shit about a game we were playing in the frame of the game, and then decides to bring Jenny Craig up for no reason. But whatever. I'm not mad about it, and I am a lot mad about it. But it's okay. Here to
How
talk
is
about some football. Do it.
So before we get into the football, Griff, I want to acknowledge the fact that some people have been saying that I cut you off a lot.
Yeah, fans want to be heard. That's feedback I got.
So I don't want to cut you off, but you need to learn how to end sentences in a responsible manner so there's not a lot of lag time in between the talking. It is a podcast where people listen to the show.
You got this crazy Micro Machine Man thing going on in my ear right now. So if I seem a little confused, I'll be okay. I'll push through it. But damn, is it weird? Like when you start, it's like, and then it kind of slows down by the end of the sentence.
There's
Very
something
strange.
wrong with one of our internet connections then.
It's probably.
Oh, it's definitely yours.
Mine looks like it's good, but
No, it's definitely yours. As soon as you touched your iPad, your screen froze and all kinds of crazy shit.
hold down my settings to see if my Wi-Fi was good, and it was fun. So whatever. If it's only me that's affected, it's okay. We're only talking about one really good division and one garbage division. So
I'm not sure why you think. I think these are probably two of the best divisions of football.
that's very, very true. I just don't want to admit one of them is. That's all.
Oh shit! You know what, man? I opened right up to the bed slip, and I was supposed to be on this screen. That kind of hurts my feelings a little bit. Kind of ruined that.
That's all right. We're just kind of throwing it out there quick. Everybody gets a little taste of what we're going to be talking about today. I mean,
So
going through this division, I mean, we already knew that it was the most loaded division in like a long, long, long time. But damn, are they loaded? Like when you look at the numbers they got for division champ, playoff odds, Super Bowl, like their highest team is a plus 4,000, and the only reason the Raiders are probably plus 4,000 and not anything better than that are just because they're in a freaking gauntlet of a division.
yeah, I'm really surprised that they think the Broncos are going to do better than the Raiders. I'm not up to date on like the Bronco news and who is. I mean, obviously Russell Wilson's there, but he sucks.
Well, you
So
hit the nail on the head there. Russell Wilson is a media darling. Like, doesn't matter what he's been he's been the league MVP for the first 8 weeks of the season for the last 8 years. Like, it's just love to want that guy to be the poster child of everything that is NFL. And unfortunately, he's only won one Super Bowl. Oh, and my co-host is back.
yeah, yeah, that dog loves being on the show. As soon as you start talking, that dog comes
Sure
over
does.
and wants to be on the show.
Yep, she was
So
fine when I started talking, and now she's trying to start hitting buttons and stuff.
So, Griff, I went and picked the MVPs this week because they weren't like normally we have them set up and I didn't see them, so I just went and grabbed them. But I think it was a smart bet to just throw all four quarterbacks in for this one.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I put it on there a little late. I did it when I got home, but that's who they were for that division. It was just four quarterbacks. And I think
So
you have it in the right order there too, based on what it was.
yeah, I put everything in the right order. Come on, what do you think I'm fucking? You think I'm fucking around over here? You think I'm just
Yeah,
jerking
you know,
off?
it's just making sure.
Um, another thing that I noticed about this AFC West division is that, and I'm not positive. I'm gonna go back and double check real quick. But it is the only division that doesn't have a clear cut favorite to win. Meaning all the teams are plus money to win, which I think is. Oh no, I lied. They're in the same realm as the NFC East. So one is so good they don't know
But
who's
for
gonna
a
win.
wildly different reason. Yeah.
Yes, one is so good that they don't know who's gonna win. One is so bad they don't know who's gonna win. That's fucking hilarious. And now, if you're
Yep.
a Cowboys or a Giants fan, you're going to take that offensively. But that's the facts of the case. You can't really spin it any other way other than that. And I actually take that back. There's one other division that is like that. Do you know what it is, Griff?
Let's see. One other division. Uh, it's definitely not the NFC North, and
No,
I don't think it's the South. I mean, I guess you could say the AFC North, probably.
nope. Oh, actually, let's go. I didn't
I
look at
don't
the
know.
AFC North. Maybe I'm shooting off the hip and I sound like a fucking idiot after this. Yeah, you know what? 4 divisions in the league. Never
I mean,
mind.
I
I'm
was.
a complete idiot. So
I mean, they are grouped pretty tight, and I think the only reason the Raiders are not grouped tighter is just because they haven't shown that they're that. Oh my God, I'm sorry. That they can do it. You know, they've had some flashes, but nothing for anyone to really believe in them yet. You know,
yeah,
so
but with the coaching change this year that they have, adding Devontae Adams, Derek Carr, I don't care what anybody says, is a solid quarterback. Um, Now whether or not he's going to fall into the Dak Prescott, Tony Romo's of the world, where he's a great regular season quarterback and then stinks out under the pressure of the playoffs, is yet to be seen because they haven't really like they made the playoffs last year, but they weren't like they're lucky that they made the playoffs and they're you know they shouldn't have really been there. You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean, it was one of the things that scares me about them this year, though, is like all the stuff you hear out of New England with McDaniel's offense and how hard it is for teams to understand and pick up and implement. Like, it sounds like this dude just loves making shit complicated, and obviously he's really good at what he does. Obviously, otherwise he wouldn't be a head coach. But how quick can they acclimate to his system, a brand new system with a new offense and really hit the ground running in a division that is just going to be a bloodbath. Like, I don't know. I feel like this thing. I feel like if you had to pick one of these teams to miss all of this stuff, miss the playoffs, not win the division, over under on their losses, I would pick the Raiders, which probably means watch them go, 12-5 this year somehow, and just click on all cylinders right away, like first year kind of thing with a new coach, and it'll just go nuts.
To be honest with you, if I had to pick somebody in this division to not make the playoffs, it's going to be the Broncos. I don't think the Broncos are. I mean, Russell Wilson's Russell Wilson, but if he doesn't have weapons around him, is he really Russell Wilson? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but, I mean, I guess, and that's one of the things I was, talking about with my buddies and doing a. I was doing we were talking about a fantasy draft, and like I feel like Cortland Sutton and Jerry Judy could really, really be huge names this year. But then I guess it's just as easy, like you just said. It's like they're not really proven, but they're not proven because they had Drew Lock throwing to them, and I don't even remember what the other scrubs were throwing to them. So like it's all based on expectations of them being good, but will they really be good? I don't know. It's a very, very interesting team for sure. Like I really hate to say that I am excited to watch a Russell Wilson, but I'm excited to see the Broncos, if they can put it together. I mean, actually, same thing as the Raiders. Like, can they put it together in a first year and, a new, not really a new system, but a new quarterback? I don't know. It's been great.
So again, so we're here for bets, right? So Ryan, looking at the AFC West, that's the bet slip we have here, from our number 9 sports book. Uh, what do you think the best bet is here? The best value for your money.
For the division?
Yeah.
I mean, with how close they are, I just it's got to be the Chiefs because I want to say the Chargers, but I don't see. I feel like the Chiefs are going to win the division. Even if they have some struggles, figuring out their new identity without Tyreek Hill. I feel like they'll mix in. Edwards Hilaire would be pretty good. They still got Kelsey. I'm kind of interested to see what happens with MBS. Going there because Rodgers is a great quarterback, but he's very conservative. Patrick Mahomes is not conservative, so I could see him just chucking rocks all the time to MBS as long as the guy stays healthy. And if that guy has a breakout season, I mean, I could. Oof, man, I don't see how you don't pick the Chiefs in that division, even though it's stacked and loaded in every direction.
Well,
That's where
so listen, I
obviously
think
you're just going chalk there, and
I'm gonna cut you off again. Sorry, I almost did there.
sorry.
I think the safe money I think is the Chiefs, right? I think it's easy to say the Chiefs are gonna win the division just because they've won it every year for the last fucking 6-7 years probably going back.
Yep.
But for the value, the Raiders at plus 700, I think is a fucking slam dunk. $10 bet wins you $70 if they have, if they have the season that I think that they can have with Sean McDaniels as the head coach, Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, they have Hunter Renfrow. Like they're I think they're in a really good position if the offense hits the ground running. Their defense is decent. It's nothing to write home about, but it's a decent defense. You know what I mean? I just worry that like last year they had a lot of close games where they were ballsy at the end because there was no expectation once Gruden got fired. It's kind of like let's win what we can. You know what I mean? But I think that's those ballsy moves that you make as a head football coach really, if they go in your favor, it's phenomenal, right? But then if you're a John Harbaugh and you fucking go for it on fourth down instead of kicking a field goal, you're an idiot. You know what I mean? Or you go for 2 points instead of kicking a guaranteed point with the best kicker in the league, you're an idiot. So it'll be interesting to see the calls that Sean makes to do this. You know what I mean?
Listen, I don't want to call you out, but it's John.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
you get it, yo. They're all the same. I always fuck them too up.
See, so you literally hit on a point that I thought I wanted to bring up too is the fact that there were no expectations after Gruden got fired and they all just kind of came together and rallied. That is a wildly different mindset than going into a season, even though they're not the favorites to win the division. They're a heavy favorite to make the playoffs out of the whole AFC. I mean, not favorite, but like they have great odds to make the playoffs. So there are a lot of expectations and a new head coach, and they signed, whatever you want to say, arguably the best, if not top 3 wide receiver in the league. There's a lot of expectations on a team that has a lot of change that happened this year. So maybe like you said, last year is because they didn't have those expectations. This year they have all of the expectations to maybe not the Super Bowl aspirations, but to be a good contending team to make the playoffs. So, some teams struggle with that too. Like there's opportunity for a lot of adversity with the Raiders this year, and it's just how they handle it. If McDaniels is good to kind of center all of those guys around.
Ryan, are you okay?
Why?
Because I've never seen somebody move around as much as you do.
It's my fucking dog. She's walking behind my back the whole time. So it's like in and out, whatever. Like she's fucking going crazy over here.
You're borderline making me seasick watching you move around. Like it's making me a little
around on the screen.
It's making me a little nauseous watching you move around, dude. It's fucking crazy. Like
sorry, she's driving me nuts. Now she's looking out the window behind me. I don't know if you can probably see her.
You got a secret secret case of Tourette's that I don't know about?
A little bit.
Jeez. All right, so overall playoff odds, the only team that is positive money is the Raiders.
Yeah, and there's just the AFC is just so strong. I mean, I feel like the Raiders are going to make it, but it ain't worth throwing money unless you want to get nuts and parlay the whole division. That would be cool. Like we're gonna talk about this stuff next week. Like some of the parlays we want to throw in. Like I don't I don't think that you would get any extra money from. Jesus Christ! Now she plug my fucking laptop. I don't think you can get any extra money parlaying the division. Like I don't think that you're gonna get like a bonus for that. But maybe they'll have like a special or a prop or something for because I was looking today when I was pulling up some of the odds today. They have some of like the weird promo bets they're throwing out there. It's like you could pick the fucking Cardinals to make the playoffs, but the Browns to miss the playoffs. Like two teams that have nothing to do with each other, and then you get some special boosted odds on those. So I thought that was kind of cool. So maybe they'll do something special like that, with the season kicking off next week.
So I was
But other than
looking.
that, I don't see any value.
So I was looking, and remember how we were saying that you could parlay playoff odds? You
Yep.
can no longer parlay playoff odds. They're not letting you do it.
Well, you know what? Because that's why I was wondering. Because when we went on today, they changed the way that you pick the playoff teams, and it's not just to make the playoffs; it's you have to go yes, no for each playoff team.
Yeah. So I
And
tried to.
my guess was because the roster cuts are coming today, so there's a lot of fluidity to what the rosters are going to look like. I think those will be back next week.
Hopefully. So we agree. There's not a lot of value in the overall playoff odds in this division. But again, if you're gonna, you know, if you're a Raider fan like me, uh, I would put some money on the Raiders. It's plus 170. You're not gonna win a whole lot, but I think the Raiders will make the playoffs. So at plus 170 seems like a decent bet, to say the least.
What scares me about that is that's an awful long lot of season to wait for a very little return.
Well, that's why, like I said, I don't think I wouldn't put money on the Raiders being division champs, right? I wouldn't. I just like the value there, but I don't think it would happen. So I feel like I'd be throwing away my $10. But hey, anything can happen. It's the NFL. You know what I mean? So Mahomes goes down week 4. Guess what? They have just a chance of anybody to win that division because
Yeah. Yep.
I would say the 3 quarterbacks on the other team are about equal. Mahomes is really the standout for the Chiefs. You know what I mean? Super Bowl.
Unless Herbert has his breakout season this year, because I could see that happening too. Where I could see that dude win the MVP this year if he just completely balls out this year, and they finish. Even if they don't win the division, they make the playoffs. They win like 10 or 11 games. Like that dude has the talent and the team around him, and a head coach that takes chances to have a 5,000-yard, 50 touchdown season easy. But who knows if he's putting it together all for a full season this year? Maybe it'll take another year or so. But Justin Herbert is going to be a stud.
Well, maybe that's why his MVP odds are where they're at, right there with fucking Mahomes. So
that was another thing I was shocked about is like not Mahomes being there, but Herbert being that close behind him is like if you're talking 800 for Mahomes and 900 for Herbert, there's no way I'm putting money on Herbert there. That's all Mahomes. Like if you're getting basically even money between the two, like you got to go with the guy who's already won an MVP.
Yeah, who's ridiculous every time he steps on the football field. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So we'll get down to Super Bowl champion out of this division. Chiefs are at plus 1,000. Chiefs at plus 1,400. Broncos plus 1,700, and the Raiders at plus 4,000.
That's the money right there. I know I've been talking a lot of iffiness about the Raiders, but plus 4,000 for a team that you could easily defend seeing them win 11 games, I think. And then if by the end of the season, if they make the playoffs and that offense clicks, I could see them steamrolling into the Super Bowl. So I would put money on them.
Yeah, plus 4. And again, the Chiefs at plus 1,000. It's not a bad bet either. The other two, I just don't.
None of them are. It's all good money for all.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't. Again, I feel like I'd be throwing away my money. But that being said, I believe the the AFC champion comes out of the AFC West. You know what I mean? I don't.
I still like the Bills.
Oh, that's right. You're a Super Bills. Oh yeah, I forgot about the Bills. Fuck.
I did. You know what's funny? I'm so glad that happened to you because I did that on our second podcast. I completely forgot about the Bills, even though
Yeah.
I know the Bills are the best team in the AFC. So
Yeah. So
you know
well,
why
but
it's easy to forget about the Bills because they're in. It's not the NFC East garbage, but it's pretty garbage their division. So
I don't know. Well, now that my boy Zach Wilson, he's gonna miss some games, right? He's injured or something.
I, it sounds like he might be back for the opener, but it's kind of
Well, that Cougar attitude that gets you hemmed up. You know what I mean?
yeah, man. You got just that go get him attitude.
How about were you there when I told that kid at the stag that I married my mom's friend and he thought I was joking?
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah,
He's like,
so
"That's some
awesome.
gangster
That was
shit
great.
right there."
Yep.
Anyway, it is some
Oh, that
gangster
was great.
shit. Anyway, so we're down to the MVP. So we already covered it kind of. Mahomes is at plus 800. Herbert's at plus 900. Uh, Wilson's at plus 14, and Derek Carr's at plus 2,500. I think the only other person out of this division that could possibly win it, and he'd have to have an electric year because, like we said, only quarterbacks win it, would be Devontae Adams. But he would have to have a better year than he's ever had with Rodgers. You know what I mean? Like he would just have to have some ridiculous numbers.
See, here's why because I almost threw him on there myself, and then I started thinking about it. He got targeted something stupid last year, like 160 targets or something stupid, and he had like 115 catches on an offense where it was Adams, and then like I don't know how far down I can go and still be on the screen, but like everybody else on that team, like nobody, nothing. But the Raiders, if Waller's healthy and they have Renfro, uh, they got Jacobs in the backfield. Keelan Cole, like the team is absolutely loaded. So if he does have a phenomenal year, which I could see him having, his stats aren't going to be that far apart from the rest of the team, which then means if he's having that kind of season and the rest of the team's having that kind of season, who's the MVP off that team?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
Carr.
Yeah,
Like
yep,
so,
100%.
I was on the same wavelength as you. I was going to throw him on there, and I'm like, there's nothing about me that says if Adams has a monster year that it doesn't. That means Carr is going to have a monster year. So that's why it's so hard to pick. I would only ever pick a running back because until something happens, if a wide receiver has a big year, they're going to give it to that quarterback. If a running back has a big year, it probably is because they're not a. I mean, every NFL team now is pretty much over 50% passing, but they're more a run heavier than most other teams. That's why I think whoever breaks the trend is either going to be a defensive player that has a monster year or a running back.
Before we get into the next division, Ryan, I don't fully. I haven't looked into this, but I've been hearing a lot of talks about it. What the hell happened with Aaron Donald?
Crazy, crazy. Okay, do you remember what happened with freaking
Myles Garrett?
what was the guy's name? Yeah, yeah. So Aaron Donald did that 3 times
The three different people or the
in one
same guy?
practice. I didn't see the whole video, but it was like he swung 3 times
Oh,
and
damn.
connected with like shoulder pads. So, and the fucked up, crazy ass part is because it happened at a practice. This whole thing, this is fucking nuts to me. Like, this is like the most banana stuff ever. Because it happened at a practice, the discipline is all under the perfume, purview of the Rams. Has nothing to do with the NFL. The only reason we know is because some guy who wasn't supposed to be recording was reporting on his cell phone because it wasn't a videotaped practice. So all of this, the Rams are just like, kind of letting bygones be bygones. So, and then the funny thing is, the next day, and I'm sure you know this as well as anybody, being a Niners fan, you have to watch, you see more Rams games than a lot of people do. That people are saying, well, this is out of character for Aaron Donald. Oh no. This is like the 5th or 6th time in his career that something like this or exactly like this has happened. He has ripped 3 helmets off that we know of in live regular season games alone. Not to mention the other shit he's done. So, yeah, it's crazy that he's going to have no disciplinary action whatsoever. It's crazy that he might get a fine. He's not going to miss any time. How much? Myles Garrett missed what? 6 games?
Yeah,
8 games?
they fucking suspended for a while for that shit. They weren't fucking around.
It's fucking nuts. Like, I understand, fine. Then be consistent. Like, don't say, well, we can't hold him accountable because of where or when it was happening. That's fucking nonsense. Like, and you know why? You know how, dude? How have we talked about when this is completely? You know what? We're really in line with number 9 media right now because we're just going to kind of jump around right now. Have we talked about when Deshaun Watson's fucking suspension ends?
Oh, it's when they go to play the Texans.
Yeah. Who? Okay. Hey, you know how you know it's bullshit? Who picks a fucking 11-game suspension? Nobody. And then you're like, well, that's weird. 11 games. Where does that put us? Oh, when we play the fucking Texans. Like, give me a break. I know that's off topic. It's part of the hypocrisy of this whole thing.
Listen,
And then you
always
got
on brand,
dude,
always off topic.
what happened?
Always on brand, always off topic.
Well, it's true. Like, see, I think you said that at the end of today's show that you guys were, or yesterday's show, that you guys were making shirts that said that. I'm like, I don't know which one of you guys came up with that. It's fucking genius.
Actually, Steve said it in the last podcast when we had him on. Pat's brother.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I think it's crazy that they're not going to suspend him. And why? Like, if they're leaving it up to the Rams, why would they? He's the best defensive player in the team. You know,
exactly.
Like, oh yeah, we're going to shoot ourselves in the foot.
He's the best player in the NFL, mostly.
Well, he probably should have retired. Guaranteed, if he got suspended, he would
retire.
Huh?
You just wanted him to retire.
Facts. But well, if you really look at it, the Niners actually do a pretty good job of containing him. Surprisingly, when they play him. Oh, I said, well, this leads us right into the next division. I totally blanked that he even played for the fucking Rams. Idiot.
I thought that's what you were doing. I'm like, this is pretty spot on. That's a good segue.
Yeah, I'm pretty fucking genius. What are you gonna do? So this gets us into the NFC West matchup. What a division, huh? You thought the AFC West was good? Look at the NFC West. There's only 2 shitty teams in the whole thing.
Yeah, that's half the teams.
So, Griff, you want to go over the odds? So, look, I don't know when these odds were updated on FanDuel, but I wonder if they're going to change anymore tomorrow, finding out that Jimmy G...
there's no way. I wish we had pulled these 2 weeks ago when we were going to do the show, because there is no way 2 weeks ago the Niners would have been as high as they are, and deservedly so now. Let me say that. I'm not poo-pooing it now. Now that with this big news that broke an hour and a half ago that is just beyond crazy to me, that after all this posturing, he's going to stay there.
I'm so I'm so relieved that Jimmy G is staying with the Niners for another season. I'm so fucking relieved. $6.5 million guaranteed. Highest paid backup quarterback in the league.
What? They got it down from 25 to 6? Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, but it's guaranteed.
What does this say more about?
Could you imagine
say more about how trash Trey Lance is, or does it say more about oh my god, where was I going with that? Oh, how little interest they had in Jimmy G.
How little interest other teams or the Niners?
Other teams.
Well, so that's the crazy part to me. Like, I can't understand why people don't have interest in Jimmy G, dude. Like, I can't.
It had to be his price tag.
Yeah, but even at $24 million or $25 million, dude, there's people getting paid fucking $23, $24 million that don't deserve $24 million.
Dude, I agree. Listen, if I'm the Seahawks and I could have traded for him, I'd pay him $25 million all day. What's your other option? If you put Jimmy G on the Seahawks are plus 175 and minus 198 and plus 1,600. Like, they got the same odds as the Niners.
Yeah, especially with like DK Metcalf, like a real threat. You know what it like? Yeah. And is Lockett still there?
Game, and they got Pete Carroll, hopefully not shitting his pants, coaching his defense this time. But yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's I'm so relieved, dude, because like I said, from what I've heard about the Trey Lance, not the good, not the good from the Trey Lance point of view. So I'm relieved. I'm guessing Trey Lance will start the first 4 games of the season. The Niners will lose every single one of them, and they're gonna go, okay, Jimmy, you're up. And I really, you should try and pull up his contract if it's out yet, like what his incentives are and stuff, because he's 6.5 million guaranteed, and that's guaranteed not to throw the fucking football. You know what I mean? He probably as a backup got something like some incentive at 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, something like that. You know what I mean? Um, where he's going to get broken off if he ends up starting a whole bunch of games.
So hold on a minute. You actually think that they're going to start Trey Lance week 1?
Yes,
There's no way. No way. Listen,
they're
okay.
playing the fucking
What
Bears, dude. They're
now?
playing the
Now
Bears.
leave it to a Packer. No, listen, hold on. Leave it to this fucking dog, man. I swear to God. Leave it to a Packers fan to complain about fucking bad draft picks, blah blah blah. Wah, wah, wah.
Mhm.
Okay. If you really want to ruin this kid for the rest of his life, what has happened in this offseason, and then to be so afraid of him, you're going to restructure this deal. And then if you start him week 1, how many people believe that Jimmy G won't eventually be starting? Like,
Nobody.
if you start him week 1 and then bench him for Jimmy G, he's done. His career's over.
Or maybe it's a wake up call. You do something better, kid. Listen, I hope they start Jimmy G.
Name one time that those wake up call things have happened.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, I hope they start Jimmy G week 1. If they start Jimmy G week 1, Niners are going to the NFC Championship game. Like, that's how I feel about it, because they're not going to play. Why would they risk? Like, that's the thing I couldn't understand about it, dude. The guy, the 2 full years that he played, and half of last year he was fucking injured. He brought you to the NFC Championship game. Like, how do you, and a fucking Super Bowl? How do you hate on that? You know what I mean?
Dude, his total contract, if he hits every benchmark, is only $16 million.
Oh, so it only took.
Wow.
Well, hey, only 10. It only cost them $10 million to stay there.
And the thing is, if he hits every benchmark, they're playing in the fucking Super Bowl probably. I'm sure that's one of the incentives on there. So if at the end of this year, if next March we're talking about Jimmy G making $16 million this year, that means I probably don't want to speak to you anymore.
Oh, why? Because the Packers probably lost in the playoffs again to the Niners?
Why we got to bring the Packers into it? It's just because the Niners are going to do well. It doesn't mean we have to shit on the Packers. I was just trying to give the Niners some love.
So we can
Jimmy
both.
G's making $16 million. That means Tom's happy. That means Ryan is very angry.
I hope this is my real hope. I really hope that Jimmy G brings them to the Super Bowl. Obviously, I want them to win the Super Bowl, but I hope he brings them to the Super Bowl and they fucking sign him again for another 5 years at some ridiculous fucking price tag.
You think he would stay there?
How, dude? I couldn't understand them wanting to move on from him after bringing him to the NFC Championship game. I can't fathom that. Because you don't want to say that you wasted draft picks on this kid. You didn't know what was going to happen with Jimmy that last year. You had no idea because he was fucking injured the year before. So, like, you don't know what's going to happen. So I understand why they did what they did. But then Jimmy had, like, he doesn't have phenomenal years. You know what I mean? But he wins games. You know what I mean? He wins fucking games. And at the end of the day, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for a guy that's going to win you games. And Jimmy G does that.
What's what I'm saying? Like, if you're him and you have a monster year, I'm going on the open market. I mean, monster. I mean, even if he has a monster year, if he makes the NFC Championship game again, if he makes the Super Bowl again, I'm moving on if I'm him.
But why would you? Well, I would listen to other offers. It doesn't mean you have to move on. Because the Niners have a good team. The Niners have. I mean, you could test the waters and see where you're going to go. I mean, but this year, like, where the fuck was he going to go this year? Everybody kept talking about the Browns sign him. Why the hell would the Browns sign him? He didn't want to take a 1-year deal, and that's probably all he was going to get offered by anybody was a 1-year deal. So, okay, let me stick it out with the Niners again. I'll be the backup, and, I'll go win us another fucking NFC title.
Oh, man, I just noticed you threw Jimmy G on the bottom of the MVP odds there. Son
Of
of a
course.
bitch.
Well, no, did you really see? So we'll get down there. We'll get down there. So we got the Rams to win the division at plus 125. You know, if they split it with the Niners 1-1 in the regular season, I say it's open to who's going to win that. So the Niners are plus 175. Um, the Cardinals are
When
plus
do they?
350.
You know, it's funny. When do they?
When do they play each
When do
other?
they meet?
They always meet late in
Yeah,
the
I'll
season.
look it up. I got it.
They tend to
Let's
always meet.
see.
Like last year, they met like week 14 and then week 18. Like it's always
It's
something ridiculous.
4-10 this year.
Oh, so relatively early.
So I could see, I could see them splitting because I could see LA taking the first one because the Niners had really shaken out everything. And by week 10, they're coming off their bye week, and Jimmy G will probably have, been starting for 3 or 4 weeks by then. So, yeah, I can see them splitting.
The Cardinals are plus 350 to win the division.
Let me ask you, okay, so, do you see, I don't see any value in the Cardinals in any capacity to bet them whatsoever. Like,
no.
I don't believe in Kyler Murray, and a lot of that is biased, but a lot of that has been proven to be completely accurate. The team, I don't see them as having any real chance,
I
and
can't
they're not
believe
as good as the Rams or the Niners.
I can't believe they signed him again. Like that he got them.
Dude, it was nuts. Oh my god! And what was his contract worth?
It's
His contract was insane too.
yeah, it's insane money, and he's not. I would put him a caliber below Jimmy G because he doesn't win when he's on the field. You know what I mean? But
listen, if you put those two guys next to each other, I can't believe I'm going to fucking say this. And dollar for dollar, I'll take Jimmy G all day.
Of course you would. Of course you would, because Kyler Murray doesn't prove that he can win. He fucking dude, did you see that playoff game that he was in last year? Oh my god. Oh my, like what were you like? It was like a JV team. Like what are you doing? It's amazing.
Like he reminds me of the learning curve that Lamar Jackson has had, except Lamar Jackson is more dynamic, and it took the league longer to adjust to him. Like it took the league 6 games to adjust to Kyler Murray. Like I'm not saying he's going to be like garbage, but he's never going to be a top 5 quarterback. I don't think.
No, he's never going to be an MVP quarterback. He's never going to be a top 5. This is a serious question, and it's not to make fun of him or anything. But do you think a part of it is because of his height? Because he's so fucking short?
Of course it is. Yeah, like it's just. I'm sorry, like that. It just. It's the exception to the rule when guys can excel in the NFL. Like you're asking a guy to dissect, from anywhere from 5 yards to. I mean, some safeties like you play a team if you're an actual passing threat. Okay, even with Kyler Murray, they might not play 2 deep cover 2 all the time because you're worried about his ability to scramble. But like it's a fact of nature. If you're not tall enough to dissect the coverage downfield, you're not going to be a good quarterback in the NFL. Like, or not good. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be a top tier,
An elite,
top 5 quarterback. Like, it's and the funny thing is, obviously, they took all of that out. It doesn't seem like the dude wants to study either. So even if you can't dissect based on what's going on the field, okay, fine. If you put in all the study time beforehand and you can, react and see what the defense is throwing at you as they align, okay, then you can react better. But it sounds like he doesn't want to do that either.
yeah, he's
that whole thing was hilarious to me too. That they had to put that in there, and then 2 days later they took it back out because there was so much blowback from it. Hilarious, dude. Any bad Kyler Murray news story is just it just tickles my fancy. I will read all the negatives about Kyler Murray I can get my hands on.
All because you hate him because of the A's thing. Like the A's were going to be good with him.
Yeah,
cut it out.
It's funny. I was going to say that. Like even if they had him right now, it would. So whatever.
It wouldn't have mattered. They would have traded him to the fucking Yankees. If he was any good. So we got overall playoff odds. You got the Rams minus 270, Niners minus 198, Cardinals plus 118, Seahawks plus 500. I would as soon take the fucking Seahawks at the plus 500 over the Cardinals at plus 118.
See, to me, like that, the first two things of this are radioactive. Like I'm not confident enough, and there's not enough meat on any of these bones to give any money to the division champ or the playoff odds in this division, unless you're parlaying. Even Rams, even if you're going to parlay Rams Niners, what's that going to get you? Maybe plus 100. So it's not worth
it. Yeah. Super Bowl champs. Now this one's not bad. You got the Rams at plus 1100. Obviously, they're defending Super Bowl champs. You have the Niners at plus 1600. Cardinals at plus 3000. I cannot believe they're at plus 3000. That's fucking crazy. And it's Seahawks at plus 15,000. I think it's easy to say that the only two worth betting there are the Rams or the Niners.
I'm kind of interested to see with this division. I didn't pull it up for the AFC either, but to see what the odds are. One of the two of them to win the conference, the Rams and the Niners.
Oh yeah, we didn't do conference.
Like just to make the Super Bowl. Not well. See, I didn't feel like it was worth looking for the AFC West just because there's so much that could happen in the AFC West. But yeah, I mean to make the Super Bowl, the Rams are plus 500 and the Niners are plus 750.
It's not. I mean, those aren't bad. Yeah, those aren't bad odds. I mean, who else? So I mean, you throw Tampa Bay in there, in Green Bay, in the NFC. I mean, who else? Who else legit has a chance to make the Super Bowl? I mean, you don't really know, but I mean, those four teams right there, I think, are probably the top four teams in the NFC to make it.
Oh, definitely. And then the Eagles are starting to get a lot of traction. Everybody's starting to catch up to me. I called the first week 1 to land 9.5. I was on the Eagles, so you heard it here first. I also said the Jets are going to be good, and they'll probably have 4 wins. So only listen to part of that podcast.
I can't wait till the Eagles suck. The problem with any team in the NFC East, you cannot really truly evaluate them until playoffs.
See, this is why I like it, because the Eagles could very well make the playoffs, winning that division at 7-10 or 7-9-1 or something crazy. And then once you're in, unless you're, the Patriots last year, but everyone has a chance.
I mean, the odds on them. So that was what 6-7 weeks ago we pulled these. They were plus 185 to be division champs and minus 178 to be to make the playoffs. So they were already favorites to make the playoffs. I think, not to get off topic and a totally different division, but the Commanders, dude, are a decent little bet there to make the playoffs, plus 152.
Well, it's just because they're in the NFC. The NFC is going to be. The NFC is going to be. The AFC is going to be more like entertaining, but I think the NFC is going to be more exciting.
Yeah, I get that. I'm so pumped to watch football.
I just anyway. If I had to pick any division to watch, I would pick the AFC West. I feel like any one of their games is going to be must-watch TV this year. Like, let's see, who is the AFC West even playing this year? That's another good question. Should have looked that up too. What divisions they play?
Well, they're playing the NFC West. See.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, they're playing because the Niners and the Raiders are playing week 18, week 17, New Year's Day.
All right, so let's see the AFC. You guys figure out if you're going to go to that
yet? Have tickets gone on sale yet for the season?
Well, there's more available than there were a couple weeks ago when you looked. I haven't looked recently yet either because I was trying to get Lindy to go to the Bills game, Packers Bills. It's the October 30th, but haven't really started looking again yet.
Ooh, that'd be a good game to go to. Watch the Bills.
I know.
Watch the Bills crush the fucking Packers. That'd be great.
I was going to say curb stomp, but it's tomato.
Yeah, man, the tickets are
like
still
super high.
Yeah, like to sit in the second tier, you're paying between $600 and $700 a fucking seat. Even up in the
What?
nosebleeds, yep, $500
It's
a
got to be
fucking
for the
seat.
New Year.
Yeah, and it's Vegas. You know what I mean? So you know,
Yeah.
listen, I would spend the money and do it 100%. And who knows? As it gets closer, the if the teams are trash or they already locked up playoff spots, maybe the ticket prices drop. Um, so because it's week 17, so it's late enough in the season where they might already have shit locked up. I mean, the Raiders won't, but the Niners probably will.
You just got to kind of play it by ear then and hope for
Yeah, I think either way,
the best.
I think either way, as of right now, we're not planning on going, so I think I'm gonna go out to Texas and see them that week. I'm gonna drive out there because I haven't. It's a nice drive, and Eric and I haven't been on a long road trip in a while. So, did you figure this out yet? Who they're playing?
Yeah, they're playing the AFC South, NFC East, and AFC South. So.
Oh, so it's totally random that they're playing the NFC West team.
No, I meant that. Sorry. I meant the NFC West and the AFC South. Sorry about
Okay. So let's get into the MVP. Matt Stafford's leading the pack, which out of the whole NFC West, I mean, there isn't really a good MVP candidate. I don't think. I think Matt Stafford had a good season last year, but I wouldn't say it was MVP quality. He's at plus 1,400.
No, yeah, definitely
Trey Lance somehow is at plus 2,500. He has the second best
not.
odds out of everybody. Kyler.
That
Oh
was just
no.
the nature of that was because he was going to be on a team that was going to like Kyle Shanahan. Ugh, God, Kyle Shanahan would have a good offense with the Yukon Huskies. Like he'd be fine.
Yeah.
Like he'd figure something out. So.
Kyler Murray. I lied. I put these out of order. Kyler Murray is at plus 2,000. Somehow he has better odds than shitty Trey Lance.
Well, it's because he was too short to reach the second tier, so he had to keep back there a little bit.
But here's where it's at, right? Jimmy G starts week 5 for the Niners. He's at plus 15,000, right? What if Jimmy G just comes out and has a baller ass last, whatever that is, 13 games of the season, and just completely balls out, wins 13 straight after Trey Lance loses them 4 straight, and gets them to the Super Bowl, or gets them to the playoffs.
I mean, you mean like balls out like Jimmy G balls out, so like the stats aren't as inflated, or you mean like Patrick Mahomes balls out for 13 games?
I'm saying for 13 games, he throws for 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns.
See, to me, that number you picked scares me because like I feel like that's like just enough games where I could see someone getting love, but it's also not enough games for his stats to catch up to someone else in the league. Like it's right on that borderline.
Yeah, but if he's
games, like,
but in 13 games, if you throw for 4,000 yards and fucking 30 touchdowns, that's a good season. Because you got to figure he didn't play 4 games. That's another 1,000 yards. It's another 10 touchdowns. You know what I mean? Like that.
I'm telling you, I in no way, shape, or form believe Jimmy G is not starting. If he doesn't, I'd be shocked if he doesn't start week 2. There's no way he's not starting by week 3. Zero chance. Zero.
But what if Trey Lance comes out and wins the first 2 games of the season?
Okay, could be right. But from what I'm hearing is he's missing guys in practice now. Like he's terrible right now, they say. All the reports you say is he is terrible right now.
Well, I could have told you. Listen,
and I'm sure you've heard the same thing.
Listen, I've been saying this since as soon as they said they were going to get rid of Jimmy G, I was like, they're fucking crazy. I seen this kid play last year. He's fucking doo-doo. He's fucking doo-doo. I don't know if you would pick him or Jordan Love. Like, they're in the same caliber. They both suck. What are we going to do if Roger retires after this year and Jimmy G leaves the Niners?
Oh,
like, what? We're going to have to cancel this podcast.
Yeah. So the WNBA with Tom and
Ryan. So this one, I threw this in here, and we talked about the Devontae Adams thing, but because Deebo Samuel is such a unique player, I could see him getting some MVP love only because if he's going to run for 1,000 yards, receive for 1,000 yards, um, like he is so vital to that team. I'm so happy they got him a contract and they signed him. Him at plus 15,000, you throw $10 on it, man. It's 1,500 bucks in your pocket if he wins.
Yeah, because see, now I hate that you say that now because now this kind of flies directly in the face of what I just said when we finished talking about the AFC West. Is because he's obviously not a running back, but it's one of those things. I think he's like the exception to the rule. If Deebo Samuel balls out this year, it doesn't mean that Burks or Jimmy G balled out. It just means he went bananas because he's basically he's a flex player. Like he's
He's a flex spot on your
like
fantasy team.
He could easily have as many rushes this year as he has catches.
Yeah, and easily do 1,000 of each, 1,000 yards in each category.
Oh,
Easily.
100%. Listen, if fucking Maurice Jones-Drew can do it, he can do it.
But yeah, if he gets somewhere around like 20, 22, 2,500 all-purpose yards, how is he not in consideration for fucking MVP? You know what I mean?
Oh, I mean, he'd have to. He'd have to be.
Yeah. So I think, I mean, if you want to risk $10 to win a decent amount of money, why not? You know, like I think it's the problem with all these players is you don't know how they're going to play once the season, like especially with a position player like that, you don't know how he's going to be utilized. Early on, we only have off like how he was utilized last year and the year before, and last year was really that breakout season for him. But he's a freak of nature, man. He's phenomenal.
He really is.
He's a phenomenal player. So I think that's worth some money. The Jimmy G thing is just a joke. I don't think. I mean,
it is hilarious.
Who knows though? Like I'm not like Jimmy G's never had a baller season like that. But hey, man, he's last year they said at the end of last year that he knew that the Niners were going to shop him out, right? And in his head, how like I'm going into the offseason, okay, I just got a team to the NFC Championship. Somebody's going to want to pay this $25 million. You know what I mean? And then the thing with the shoulder and all that, like, okay. And then he doesn't have a choice but to have, like, if he gets the opportunity to play, he has to have good numbers. He has to be smart. Again, I like Jimmy G. He scares me in big games because he doesn't always protect the football the way that you would want him to. I feel like he does try and force the ball, but at times he tries to force the ball and it works. It's that Monday morning quarterback shit, right? He tries to force the ball and he makes a completion and they score a touchdown or get him within field goal range with a crazy ass pass. Phenomenal, right? He misses that pass and throws a pick. He's a piece of shit. So, unfortunately, that's the way it goes playing quarterback in the NFL. He's a beautiful, beautiful man. And I hope that he's a 49er for the rest of his career.
That was very touching, Tom. Very touching.
I wish Jimmy G would touch me.
I hope for your sake he is too. That way you don't have to go through what I'm going to probably have to go through in the next year or two. So,
well, I really hope so too. For the fact of as long as we're playing the Packers in the playoff, I know that there's another round after that. That's what I know. Those are facts.
I had a leg to stand on to argue that point, but I don't.
When was the last time the Packers beat the Niners in the playoffs?
It's like 96 or something, 95. Something fucking nuts. I'm gonna look it up just to really depress myself. Let's see.
It really end the show on the high note.
Niners playoff history.
Oh man, this is gonna be.
I'm gonna say it was 90. I'm gonna say it was 96.
No, it had to have been. Well, the Niners weren't good in the early 2000s, so
they played 9 times. I think it would make it like, hey, it's right here. This is when they played.
It's
It
right
did
here,
not.
49. It's right here. 1950s, 13-5. No. Oh, right here, 2020s. Levi Stadium. The fuck it. Oh no, that's regular season. Oh, playoffs. 49ers. Postseason. Series. 49ers lean at 5-4. That doesn't really do much for us.
It's during the Favre era, the Packers dominated them.
So
Oh,
2012.
Favre lost to them in the '98 wild card game.
Niners beat you guys in 2012, 2013, 2019.
2014.
Oh, was 14 the year that Colin Kaepernick ran all those yards on you?
Yeah, sure was.
Oh, good time. 2001 was the last time. Packers beat the Niners 25-15.
Well, hey, at least it was this century, so that's good.
And they owned them in the 90s as well. 98 the Niners beat them, but 98 the Niners beat the Packers in the playoffs, but the Packers won in 96 and 97. 95, 96, and 97.
Well, that was filled with Favre's MVP years.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? I mean, I think overall the Packers are just I like the rivalry between the Packers and the Niners. I don't think people would say it's a great rivalry, but I think it's a good one. I think it's a fun one.
Well, unfortunately, in order for something to really be a rivalry, there has to be a little bit of competition on both sides. And currently, it's just Packers fans being sad and Niners fans waiting till the next Sunday.
Yeah, but if you look at it, right, so in the 50s, overall, right, like if you look at the whole season, in the 50s the Niners dominated, in the 60s the Packers dominated. The Niners owned it in the 70s and 80s. Packers owned it in the 90s and 2000. Niners had it in the 10s, and we're on our way to own it in the 20s. But seeing as where these two teams are headed, who knows if both of them will even be in playoffs in any of those.
Yeah, I don't want to think about it.
But through most of our friendship, the Niners have owned it, so that makes me feel really good about life.
You mean for the entirety of it?
Yeah, and hopefully for the rest of our friendship, for the rest of our lives, the next 40, 50 years.
Man, what, you're going to stop being friends with me this year?
No, I said 40. I doubt it. As long as Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback, I'm not scared.
Oh, yeah, and I am scared. So,
all right.
Perfect.
All right. Griff, is there anything you want to add to this?
Yeah, last little bit we got to do is pick our
I totally
division.
Forgot. So our division.
All right, what's your NFC West? Am I safe to type the Niners in first, or are we picking the Rams?
We'll go Rams first. Niners.
All right, so we got
Cardinals, Seahawks. I think that's. You know, you know what? I'm going to shake it up. I'm going to put Seahawks Cardinals because I think the Cardinals are fucking trash, and I think with Pete Carroll as the head coach, I think they could easily have an 8-9, 7-10 season, and I think Kyler Murray's going to stink out now that he's got paid.
Well, I am going to go with your original myself. I think Cardinals and Seahawks. I don't see a team coming out of that division with Geno Smith as their quarterback. I just don't see it.
I'm not seeing them coming out. Like they're not going to make the playoffs, but
no, I mean coming out, not coming out, but like doing anything. I mean, as much as I hate the Cardinals, I don't see it. But hey, I mean, I've been wrong before, and I will be wrong many times in the future. That's why I didn't, strike it rich last year. All right, so AFC West, what you got?
Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers, Broncos. This is great for podcasting. Great.
am going to pick the Chargers,
Chargers to win. Oh shit,
Raiders, Broncos, and Raiders.
man! You had the Raiders finishing last, huh?
Yeah, but I mean it's last, and they could still make the playoffs. Like I don't think it's. Oh boy, sorry, my little power mode turned on my iPad there. I think they could finish last, but make the playoffs. Like it's just last in that division still could have 10 wins. So
Have you? Has there ever been a team where all 4 teams made the? No, because there wasn't the extra wild card spot. So
nope. Yep. So this will be the first. Could be the first.
we were saying that last year about the NFC West with. Well, no, we weren't. Seattle sucked.
Here are the standings for the NFC West.
Shut up, Siri. All right.
Slut.
Anything else you want to say?
No, I'm good. Yeah, thanks. Welcome back, everyone. It's good to be back from our little 2 weeks where we couldn't make it happen. But you got what do you got now? 20, 25, or 26 weeks straight of listening to our beautiful voices talk the most beautiful sport in the history of mankind. So
Yeah, so the shows will be coming out every Wednesday, hopefully, bearing any, schedule changes that may happen. But we're planning on recording Tuesday night. We will probably do this live if you guys watch Twitch or YouTube. It'll be twitch.tv/NO9 Media and then YouTube is it's either I think it's number 9 with Tommy podcast. It might be the number 9. Nah, it's number 9 with Tommy podcast on YouTube. Search it up. Make sure you hit the follow button on Twitch. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on YouTube. And for those of you that are fair goers, come check us out at the fairs. We're gonna be at the Goshen Fair this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Except on Monday, I think it's 8 to 6. Come check us out. We're gonna have some of the original merch for the Number 9 with Tommy podcast. We got hats, we got shirts. Buy a hat, buy a shirt. You're gonna get some free stickers and shit in the bag. Spread the word. You know what I mean? Let people know. We're doing interviews at the fairs. So if you guys want to sit down, be on the podcast for the Number 9 with Tommy podcast, we'll sit down. We're gonna record some clips, and then you'll be on a future podcast. It might not be right away, but we will have you on a future podcast. Or we might just, compile some of the interviews and do full shows out of it when we can't make a show happen.
Episode.
Yeah, like a little best of, or like a fair best of, or something like that when we can't do an episode. So it should be a good time. We're doing 5 fairs. We're doing the Goshen Fair, Bethlehem Fair, Durham Fair, Harmington Fair, and Riverton Fair. So there's only a week off in between all those. We do Goshen, Bethlehem, week off, Durham, Harrington, Riverton. So we'll be there with our boy Second Armament. He'll be slinging merch. He has awesome designs going. Trust me, I know I've pressed all of them. I've been there. I folded all of them. I touched every single shirt that he made yesterday. It was so much fucking work. But he'll have hoodies, hats, t-shirts for sale. Our stuff is $20 for a hat, $25 for a t-shirt. If you buy one of each, they're 2 for $40. So come check us out. Help support the cause, and come sit down and have an interview. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. We have questions to ask. We can talk about football. You just can't do that with Pat because he has no fucking clue. But if Ryan's there,
well, week 1 he's usually pretty good, but he loses interest pretty quick, judging the last 2 years of our past.
Yeah, you know what I'm a little upset about is that we didn't get. I'm not going to do the Survivor or the Pick'em League.
Not going to do it at all?
No, I sent out invitations to everybody. I don't think anybody joined. I haven't checked. Actually, let me check real quick while I'm on the computer here.
I mean, I didn't get the invitation.
I emailed everybody that was part of the team last year. So
shit, I wonder if that went straight to spam.
So let's see. There is nobody signed up, so that's fantastic. So we're not doing it this year. I'm not. Plus, with everything going on with the fairs and stuff, it's just gonna be too much to handle. The first 6-7 weeks of the season. So I'm a little upset about that, but it is what it is, right? Hopefully next year we're in a better position.
Can't win them all.
No, I mean, maybe next year we'll do it as a spin-off of this show or whatever, and we'll have enough of an audience to where, we can either do this or do a fantasy draft or something like that. Get a big old fucking fantasy team going with like 32 teams. That'd be dope as shit.
Oh, that'd be crazy. How the hell are you gonna have that many teams? That'd be nuts.
Ryan, there's 32 teams in the NFL. That's how.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't want to start Geno Smith.
Hey, somebody has to. Better hope you get a good
Hopefully
draft
not me.
pick.
I'm gonna draft first round, so I don't have to worry about him.
Anyway, but yeah, let's get out of here.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I say a good lay.